we will have Andrew just kind of give us a quick overview of why he made the decision to invest as an angel investor on WeFunder for Kitchenery. And then if you have questions, please don't forget to put those into the Q&A, and we'll address some of those after Andrew talks a little bit about his side of the story.
Hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Hartnett, and I am the founder and CEO of Formula for Success, and I also am an investor in Kitchenery. So basically what my company does is work with small businesses and startups to help operationalize ideas. And so basically going from the vision to actionable strategy to reach customers and scale. And so my interest in this space really originates from my background in technology consulting. So I spent over a decade in technology consulting, including 7 years managing technology programs for Google across autonomous vehicles, augmented reality, and geodata. And so this has been a really exciting opportunity for me to get better acquainted with some of the leading entrepreneurs in the Tampa space. And we definitely have the Synapse Summit for that. So when it comes to making a personal investment in a company, there's really 3 primary things that I'm looking for. So the first thing is this something that is an improvement upon something that already exists in the market, or is this something that's fundamentally different and disruptive and game-changing? And so I think that was the first thing that excited me about the Kitchenery opportunity. Is, to me, it's very clearly in the latter. So the second thing that I look for is having a scalable business model with a diverse set of applications for the technology. And obviously, Akshay has talked very eloquently today so far about the applications and the kind of near-term strategy to go after the luxury market. And even, the value of one contract in that space is very lucrative. But what got me really excited about this project is the much broader applications across B2C, across the data monetization perspective. Coming from my space and working with clients on that kind of customer insights side, I understand even just the data monetization pursuit, how valuable that can be to help manufacturers kind of better understand how customers are engaging with their products. And so I think in this case, it seemed like a slam dunk because of all the different applications. And then the third thing that I look for is some kind of a personal connection to the project or brand. And so in my specific case, I have very fond memories of my aunt and uncle driving up their RV from Kissimmee, Florida to DC, where I grew up. And so I remember my sister and I, like, how excited we'd be just to sleep in the RV out front. And so just seeing a statistic about 2,000 RVs subject to fires just from a safety issue alone, that really resonated with me. And again, that's just kind of scratching the surface of possible applications. And so when I'm looking at new startups, I think there's always challenges just by the nature of the pursuit. There are probabilities that you have to overcome just to go to market with something new. But one of the things that I think kind of offsets that is having such a diverse set of applications where you're kind of inverting those probabilities in your favor. And so that's what makes me kind of very excited from both like a near term and far term applications. And so I think, you're here today because you have an interest in this opportunity. And so, I would encourage you to go ahead and pull the trigger. Obviously, I'm here as a resource if you have other questions from kind of a third party perspective. But I think the reality is that, I believe I said it in my WeFunder note, but this is sort of ushering in the kitchen of the new millennium. And so being here on this call today, you don't want to be kicking yourself down the road. I kind of think about that when I'm making an investment. There's a saying I like to reference: the pain of action weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. And so when I'm thinking about a possible investment opportunity, I kind of think about, if I don't invest, what will that look like 5 years, 10 years down the road when something like this could really blow up? So that's my pitch, but super excited and grateful to be included in this session tonight. And again, happy to be a resource if anybody wants to talk to me individually about, further reasons why I invested here. So
thank you. That was awesome, Andrew. No pains of regret. That's something I'm gonna remember, take with me.
I like the one-liners because it's just kind of like a quick mental model, but I think it's true. It's like you don't want to be kicking yourself at an opportunity like this down the road. So that very much governs my investment choices. So
why don't I know that actually a lot of people like to understand the founder. When I was working in VC world, we always talked about the jockey versus the horse. As the
Right.
jockey, what has been your experience and what have you learned? What are the challenges that you've overcome to get to the point that you're at right now? Give people a little feel for who you are as a founder.
Every day is, as a founder, as a matter of fact, I enjoy being a founder, right? Every day is different. It comes with a whole new set of challenges. I started this company back when I was living in Milwaukee. I used to work in the commercial automobile industry at a company called CNH Industrial, heavy equipment, heavy machinery, and I had some prior background, high level knowledge about wireless power transfer technology, pretty much inconveniences in using my own kitchen space. I used to live with my girlfriend in a small apartment. I would say it was a small 1-bedroom apartment, and we can see power outlets and kitchen appliances plugged in one corner. It was just not the best experience of using such kind of space on a day-to-day basis. And at that time, we started doing small experiments with what can we do to holistically improve this experience. I have joined multiple different startup boot camps after that to develop a business model to check the viability of the technology from the perspective of both from the engineering side, of course, but also from the perspective of market adoption, from the perspective of scalability, from the perspective of technology venture. Back then, I joined a boot camp in a startup accelerator, which was called Generator, and we developed venture. We did venture feasibility. That is this really worth it to pursue? And down the line, I got accepted in the Spartan incubator that is right now, we are in the incubator that is in the University of Tampa. And this space has given us pretty much access to all the resources that we need to go from the early concept phase to a launch phase for new venture. And along this journey, we raised some venture funds. We collaborated with Stanley and Techstars. We progressed with our technology commercialization. We secured a few technology patents on our wireless power transfer system itself. It's so far it's been a journey of 1,000 miles, right? And the one thing that I realized as a founder is that it is very, very important to be, fearless, to be more, to be hyperactive, to in this day and age, in the present economic situations. I try to manage the venture from a perspective of when can we be more profitable, right? Instead of I would say being more like a dragon in one sense. So being more persistent, being more fearless, being more straightforward with the opportunities that are available in the near term execution phases, things of that nature.
So awesome. Thank you for sharing that and how you kind of look at it. You've mentioned this already, but on the capital raising side, what has been your progress? Where are you right now? And where do you see yourself towards the end of this year?
Oh, that's as long as we have people like Andrew who are backing us, that's that's a great step and a good space to be in. But just this past year, we raised some venture funds, $120,000 from the Stanley Techstars Accelerator. Apart from that, we before this this venture, this first round of pre-seed, we did a friends and family round of about $40,000. And right now, this past month over at Synapse Summit, we partnered with WeFunder to do a community fundraise round. And the goal with this is to raise at least 350K and then open our pre-seed round, or we could say pre-series A, a little bit after seed, somewhere in that range. But we are going to open our $2 million round once we wrap up with our WeFunder community fundraise round.
So I mentioned what you're doing to my mom. And
yeah.
she's an early adopter. She's always been an early adopter. She wants to know when she can buy it. So when is this going to be commercial? When can the average person get their hands on this? What is sort of, I know your first target market is the RV market, but from there, what are you looking at? And how much is it going to cost?
Oh, okay. Well, like I, mentioned in my presentation, just this past year, we finished developing the first generation of our, technology. We actually proved that we can do wireless power up until 1200 watts, and we integrated our power receiving system into a couple prototype appliances like a blender, toaster, and a kettle. And earlier this year in January, we manufactured the second generation of our wireless energy pad. This has added safety features. It is much more. We optimized the electrical components and things like that, in the second generation pad. So it is much more smaller, much more compact, and we're prepping this to start doing advanced technology certifications, CE, FCC, UL, and that is also one of the other reasons why we are raising funds on WeFunder right now. But apart from that, from the perspective of when can a consumer buy the product, right now on our website kitchenery.us/reserve, we are going to open our pre-order portal for the consumers in the second quarter of this year. So, and this is our strategy with direct to consumer. So apart from all the B2B accounts that we are developing, we're also working on a strategy to directly engage with the end consumer, and we're going to do this directly via e-commerce. So in second quarter of this year, we are going to open our pre-order portal where consumers can actually, go and reserve their revolutionary kitchen appliances. And as far as when can we expect to reach to a production stage, in October of this year, by the end of Q3, we foresee that we'll complete small MOQ production, and we're going to start selling products starting Q4 in November, December. So that is our current goal.
Awesome. Andrew, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I do know that a lot of times, especially when you're raising on WeFunder, you have a lot of early investors that have not necessarily invested before. Some have not. Can you just explain your investment terms and what you are offering and what that actually means? There's some terminology like safes and valuation cap and all that. Can you just give a very high level explanation of what that means for an angel investor?
That's a great question, Michelle. On our WeFunder, we are using SAFE as a medium of investment. Now, SAFE, literally what it sounds like is a simple agreement for future equity. And, it was first, I would say, developed or invented by Y Combinator. And we are, in fact, Y Combinator is called YC. It's it's the, I would say, the Harvard or Stanford for technology startups. A whole lot of now the companies, Dropbox, Zoom, these are some of the companies that went through Y Combinator in the early phases of venture execution. But we're using that same medium in order to raise funds via our community round, and it has certain benefits both to the investors and to the founders, because in early phases of venture execution, the valuation is not defined very, very well. So this gives more flexibility to investors to have a more defined valuation, whether it could be less or more at the time of any given liquidity event. That is one thing. And the second thing with Safe Notes and community round is that it is a fairly easy medium to accept money from anybody, because it's as simple as signing an agreement that requires less legal fees, less processing time, and it's a easy handshake between both the investors, the founders, and the company itself. That was the whole philosophy behind using a Safe Note right now. Is number one is it's quick and easy. It doesn't have a lot of legal complications, and the best part is because right now we don't have very, very well defined valuation, there is more flexibility over how investments are made. And the second question was regarding valuation cap. Right now on WeFunder, we have a $8 million valuation cap for our early birds. What this means is at any type of liquidity events, if there is a cap, the valuation of the company cannot go beyond that particular cap. So that's the whole meaning and the whole philosophy behind the gap.
So I'm just curious, kind of entrepreneur to entrepreneur, what keeps you up at night? Like, what are the things that you're most concerned about or risks that you're managing?
The one thing that, I'm always on my toes is pretty much how can, we want to reach to a stage where we can start generating revenue. We can start, acquiring customers, and we are doing more and more. We speak to more and more consumers. We speak to more and more businesses that want access to our technology and access to our product offerings. A very, very good example is, right now we are speaking to a whole lot of RV and boat manufacturers. And the one thing they said to us that, hey, do you have a product that we can buy right now? We would love to, place an order. And it burns my heart that, we don't have the product ready to sell it to them. And me and my team, holistically, what we are doing right now is we are taking all the steps, taking all the baby steps to reach to that stage where we can where we reach to a stage where we can start selling the product. And that is the whole goal behind raising funds right now is, all right, how can we raise those funds, get all those technology certifications, get all product look and feel. We are in the hardware space, so it definitely has a whole lot of extra challenges about figuring out supply chain issues, manufacturing issues, production issues. Scaling, making something at a very small scale is different than making something you're producing 1,000 units. It comes with added complexities in product development and in product manufacturing. So yeah, all of these steps that or the journey that we are going through right now is obviously it's very, very challenging, but it's, of course, it is very, very rewarding as well. And I would say that North Star, or that that goal to reach to a revenue generating stage is really what inspires both, of course, myself and the whole Kitchenery team. So that is the the big goal that we want to achieve this year.
How can people get to the WeFunder? I know that this will be recorded, that you'll be sending it out after. So there may be people here that you don't have on your email list or anything like that. How do they get there, and what do they need to do if they're interested in investing?
Of course, with our partnership with WeFunder, we actually made it so easy for the community to back us, right? The whole idea and the whole goal behind working with WeFunder was to leverage the power of the community so that they can make micro investments or bigger investments in Kitchenery. And it's with our WeFunder structure, all you have to do is go to wefunder.com/Kitchenery, and it's a quick and easy sign up process. You sign up and pretty much you can invest right now. So very, very easy and very, very straightforward process to do it.
And Kitchenery is with two E's, right? So
No, it's not with two E's.
Kitchenery.
Oh yeah. In that sense, yes. Kitchenery with two E's. Kitchen with an ERY. If you see on the back here, Kitchenery. Yeah.
Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say, Andrew, Akshay, before we close down?
Good. I mean, I'm just excited about what Akshay has been able to assemble, and excited to have the opportunity to share my piece here. So that's pretty much it for me.
Appreciate you being here.
Sure.
I appreciate it, Andrew. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for addressing Kitchenery investors and Kitchenery stakeholders on this call. One of the other things that I would say before we end, at Kitchenery, holistically, we are on this mission to improve how people interact with their kitchen space on a day-to-day basis. We are on a mission on how to assist them. How can we make their lives easier? How can we give some time back to them on some activities that they are doing that they're pretty much doing every day. And this is what motivates pretty much myself and the Kitchenery team and our community, who is supporting us on a day-to-day basis. So, if you want to be a part of this mission, I would definitely recommend you to check us out. Go check our community fundraise round on WeFunder, interact with it, engage with it, follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram. It's Kitchenery INC. Check out our latest updates on our product, on our holistic venture execution.
I've said it better. I'll leave it at that. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. Thanks everyone for your time today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this webinar.